really going to be a racist, then you should be a true racist and not use anything or be involved with anything that was invented or created by blacks. Do you want a list? The ironing board, the refrigerator, the baby carriage, the shoemaking machines, the traffic signal, the incandescent light bulb, the folding bed, the mailbox, air conditioning, elevator. You want me to go on?
All right, racists, let's talk about the part of history you like to tout the most. Black inventions. And along with those inventions comes the receipts. Racist America has pretended for far too long that black people haven't created or invented most things, if not every single thing we use daily. They like to pretend that the toolbox of life just appeared out of nowhere, or that it was gifted by some default white guy. Then they act shocked every single time a black indigenous American shows up in the patent record. This pattern in history of gaslighting and erasure ends now. So why don't we break the spell with a hit list of under-referenced black American inventors, whose work you touch, hear, and rely on every single day, whether you say their names or not. This is what I call the not-so-familiar list. James E. West co-invented the electric microphone in 1962. That tiny capsule in smartphones, laptops, hearing aids, and almost every modern mic, brought to you by a black man, James West. George Edward Alcorn Jr. built the imaging X-ray spectrometer in 1984 that sharpened space and materials research. NASA named him Inventor of the Year. Translation, he built the instruments that actually see what the naked eye can't. Black brilliance. Meredith Gourdine pioneered electro-gas dynamics, devices like incinerate cut smoke and industrial pollution. He engineered the actual physics. David N. Crosswaite Jr., architect of modern HVAC controls for big buildings. He has 39 U.S. patents, some of which include heating systems for Radio City Music Hall as well as Rockefeller Center. So when you visit these places, your climate comfort is running on David's math. Walter Lincoln Hawkins created durable polymer cable sheathing so telephone lines could survive the sun and harsh weather. Otis Boykin designed precision resistors that stabilized consumer electronics and pacemaker controls. George Carruthers invented the far ultraviolet camera / spectrograph used on Apollo 16 to image Earth's atmosphere and interstellar space. When science looked farther, it used George's instrument. Jerry Lawson led the team behind the interchangeable video game cartridge, the truest pioneer to console gaming. Jesse Russell was the key architect of digital cellular systems and base station tech. He laid the groundwork for the networks that your phone lives on. Marion Croak is the holder of 200+ patents in voice over IP and internet call tech. So as far as internet calling as a service, she operationalized the pipeline. Valerie Thomas, the pioneer behind the Illusion Transmitter 3D image tech at NASA. Bessie Blount Griffin, inventor of the self-feeding device used for amputees and a disposable emesis basin. It's a clinical design that restored autonomy to its users in this country. Then it spread internationally. Alice H. Parker created the 1919 patent for a gas-fired centrally zoned heating furnace. She also planted the seed ideas for modern home heating segmentation. Miriam E. Benjamin, in 1888, created the gong and signal chair, a call button system predating hotel service alerts. The start of push to summon was formulated by her genius. Andrew J. Beard invented the Jenny coupler in 1897, which is an automated, dangerous link and pin rail coupling. His work improved freight efficiency and worker safety. Philip B. Downing created the street letterbox in 1891 with a weather shielding door for mail drop-off. Yes, a black man created the mailbox. John Stannard, in 1891, he invented the non-electric refrigerator and compact oil stove, the pioneer of non-electric appliances. Richard B. Spikes, he iterated the automatic gear shift and most automotive safety systems. Lloyd Hall, he advanced food preservation, using safer curing salts, using spice sterilization, and antioxidants. He created the industry-level shelf life. So what was the point to all of this? Reality reads like this list. Black Americans were already here, already building, and already creating everything. Designing the microphones inside your phone, the networks under your techs, the heat in your building, the optics in your space science, the cartridges that built an entire gaming industry, the clinical tools that dignify autonomous care, and the dull metal boxes swallowing your mail on the corner. Erasing the creativity and the genius of the original people isn't accidental. It's an act of violence. You can keep pretending you invented everything, sure. Or you can look around, call things what they are, and
they stole a lot of our inventions, and they admit it. They didn't credit black people with inventions. If you were a slave, they called you property, and a property can't have an invention, so they would give the credit to the slave master.
Wow.
So, and we still get credited with 50,000 inventions, like during 1800s and 1900s.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and that's with inventions being stolen. We wouldn't be able to use text message, Wi-Fi, any of that without black inventors.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta look
Even with
these up.
GPS, you know about the black lady behind
Black
GPS?
people invented GPS?
The black lady behind GPS?
No, I don't know.
She died like 2 years ago. But it makes sense as to why black people were inventing so many things. They were the workers.
They had to be
so
scrappy,
naturally,
yeah.
you're going to make things that makes your job easier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They invented these things to make their job easier, but also to make life easier for us today. Like, this is why we still use these inventions.
Your resources are worthless without white people's inventions. I'm sick of hearing about how white people stole all the resources. They're not worth anything without our inventions.
To be fair, white people have made some of the most important inventions in human history, like the nuclear bomb, which was used to kill over 200,000 civilians, or the transatlantic slave trade, which was used to kill over 2 million Africans in the Middle Passage alone, or colonialism, which was used to steal over $45 trillion from India. Okay, wait, let's get serious. White people literally gave us modern medicine. Half of us would be dead without it. Oh wait, no, that was a Muslim scholar in Persia. But they gave us modern mathematics. We wouldn't have our phones without it. Oh no, wait, that was another Muslim scholar in Iraq. But they gave us philosophy, bro. You can't even break that. That's Greek philosophers. They're literally European. No, the only reason that we have those texts today is because Muslim scholars preserved them through the Dark Ages. White people's greatest invention was convincing the entire world that they invented everything.
People don't talk about all the great things white people have accomplished. 97% of inventions were made by Europeans. And there's actually a website when they say like the traffic light or peanut butter was invented by black people. There's like a website that like fact checks these black inventions, and you look deeper into it and usually they're all from white people that they might have added something or it was like completely stolen. So why are we not taught about that?
Wow, there's a site debunking black inventions?
Yeah, I forgot the name of it
That's
right
nuts.
now, but they didn't even invent peanut butter. So I don't think they've invented anything actually.
The reason I say white Americans have no culture is because most of the things that have become associated with white people were black inventions. White people love vanilla.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I trust that you're doing well today, and welcome to yet another interesting episode. So most of the time when you hear about an invention, like I would say, like even personally, when I was young, you hear about an invention and the first thing that comes to your mind, it was that it was done by a white person. The first thing that you think about is Epstein, those big names, those people who are actually, yes, you're not brushing them away that they didn't do anything. They really did something. But the internet and also educators really did not give it a try to mention that we have some of the most amazing black inventors that also the internet does not speak about each time, that also do not get to be celebrated each time. And you know what, like growing up, you're like asking yourself, what did black people do? Did we do even anything? Did we even try to come up with something? And yes, we did. So in case you didn't know, we have a lot of inventions that were invented by black people. And the sooner you know, the better. But what is more interesting is that some of the people, I'm talking about especially the white communities, they have refused to acknowledge that what is actually making their life easier per now, some of those products, some of those inventions were invented by black people. So we have a creator here who's actually talking about, I love this particular creator. She's a white educator, and she speaks about systemic racism. She speaks about racism and all that. And she's very vigilant to try and educate the fellow Americans, that the fellow white Americans, that it's time that if you are going to be racist, can you resent each and every other item that was invented or rather touched by this particular group of people? Because you cannot be speaking bad and segmenting people and grouping people according to their skin color, and you still use what these people invented. You're still benefiting from what these people built, which the internet plus the racist person, you know, has actually refused to understand or rather acknowledge. Yes, I know, like, most of you would be like, you know, like, why do we still speak about racism? Why do we still speak about these things? We speak about them because it's still happening. We are in 2026. Yes, we are in the 21st century, but yes, these things are happening. Look at the lynching of the black people in the USA. It's like rising each and every time. Every time a black child hangs out with a white children, we all know what is going to happen next. But that is not actually what we are talking about today. We are talking about what the black community invented, and it's just time for people to come together and acknowledge and also celebrate these particular individuals for actually trying and making their life easier with that invention. I know most of the time people are talking like, you know, yes, you invented peanut butter, so what? It wasn't about peanut butter alone. We have a lot of people who invented some amazing stuffs like the bulb. We're talking about the bulb. We are talking about the style. Let us talk about the style that the United States is actually embracing right now. The style, we're talking about the fashion industry, we're talking about the musical industry. Look at the K-pop. What are they copying? They're actually copying the 90s rappers like Tupac and all that. Look at the fashion industry, where like people are putting those do-rags, you know, everything that was black. So ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're new here, again, my name is Yvonne, and you are welcome to being part of my online family. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I'll really appreciate it, because that is the only way that you help me achieve and bring you this particular topic or other content, where we get to learn about black history and any other interference that doesn't sit well with human interaction. So leave your comments down below, and you know, let us interact. So you know how we do. Until next time.